Welcome. Shout out to the book readers. This is a simple video. I want to talk about 3 books that's made quite the impression on me from 2023. I said before this year ends, I need to get this video out, and I've left it to the last day. So let's jump into this. The first book is by a gentleman called Professor David Nutt, and he is a very significant individual. He used to be the chief drugs advisor for the British government. And in doing so, of course, he was tasked with thinking about the drug policy and conducting essential research. And one of the pieces of research that he conducted involved him calculating the most dangerous drugs in the UK based on 2 factors. And the way they did it was they looked at the danger to the individual and the danger to society. And once they did this calculation, this piece of research, they found the most dangerous drug not to be crack, not to be heroin, but of course it was alcohol. And he took this research to the government, and a sensible government maybe would have considered the implications of this research. However, instead, the professor was relieved of his duties. He was fired from this particular role. And so who better to talk about alcohol and drug policy than the chief drugs advisor? And so in this book, Drink, he's laid out the research, and he talks about alcohol without, I guess, necessarily taking a position, but he's basically giving you the information, giving you the science, giving you the research and the data, and then you can make your own judgments as to whether or not you want to modify your habits. There's some interesting suggestions with regards to policies as well, and of course he examines the cultural implications, because alcohol is supremely embedded within the UK, from the universities to pop culture, after work. It's everywhere, down to the advertising as well, down to the packaging. Is firmly and deeply ingrained within British society. So this book stood out for me, definitely gave me some food for thought, so it's highly recommended. Book number 2. Now, earlier this year, I was really thinking about the monarchy, and then I stumbled and staggered by chance through Audible on this book right here. And this book is Abolish the Monarchy. Very, very interesting book right here. Now, this book, what it does is it relays some very, very persuasive arguments with regards to the monarchy. It exposed me to many things that I didn't know about the monarchy, with regards to the secrecy, with regards to certain powers, freedom of information, and it again has given me a lot of food for thought, and it definitely hit me strongly because I was already thinking down these terms. So for me, it was kind of preaching to the choir. However, I would definitely recommend it for those who are open-minded. Maybe you think the monarchy is not broken, right? I think perhaps maybe you want to check this book out and see if there's anything that you agree with, you disagree with. It's definitely a well-researched book. It's something that I think a lot of people need to read, and I think it's a unfortunate situation that there wasn't a larger, more deeper discussion with regards to the future of the monarchy once the Queen died. But I do think this book, for me, it's definitely worth taking a read. And the third book of 2023, my goodness, and what a beautiful book this is. This is Rick Rubin, A Creative Act. And what a book this was. This book is about creativity, if the title didn't give it away. And this book from Mr. Rick Rubin, it distills and crystallizes his philosophy with regards to creativity. And it's a fantastic book, the way he has done this. Like I personally listened to the audio version, but it had me captivated. And whilst I was listening to this book, I was in the middle of working on my own musical project. And Rick Rubin, his philosophy, it definitely encouraged me to actually put the project out there. It encouraged me to revisit and make certain changes and actually step out from my comfort zone. And I think what really resonates to me about this particular book is the spiritual angle, the spiritual angle that Rick Rubin uses to kind of distill his philosophy. That certainly resonates to me. But even if you don't believe in any kind of higher power, any of that, I think it's a wonderful book for everybody, not just those who are practicing in some kind of creative domain, just for everybody, because my philosophy is that everybody has that creativity within us, and it's a case of nurturing it. For some people, it's easily or more easily accessible, but for other people, it's repressed. So this book had a huge impact on me. It's most definitely a book that I will be revisiting in the future, and I hold it in great regards. So that's 3 books from 2023 that have had a huge impact on me. And because I'm feeling in that mood, here's a book that was not released in 2023, but still had a huge impact on me. And this book is by Leo Tolstoy. It's called How Much Land Does a Man Need? And I read this book. It's a very, very short book. I don't typically read fiction, but this one was recommended to me and I gave it a go. I'm like, oh, it's a short book. Why not? And to say it packed a punch would be an understatement. This is a 20 page something, and it hit me like a haymaker. The message is powerful, and it got me thinking, how does this apply in my life? And the way it applies in my life is not necessarily the land, but it got me thinking, how much muscle does a man need? How much money does a man need? How many viewers does a man need? How many followers does a man need? These are some of the questions that I took from this particular book. So there you go, man. That's another recommendation right there. So this has been a short one. Shout out to the book readers. And of course, let me know if there's anything released this year that you highly recommend. I'll catch you next time.